Hey kids, welcome back to your favorite English class. Today, let's learn the lesson Class Discussion. The lesson Class Discussion is a poem written by the poet Gervase Finn. And this lesson is included in Unit 6 of your Marigold English Reader. The poet Gervase Finn was born in the year 1946 and he is still alive. He is an English author and educator. He has published collections of his own plays, poems, picture books, and short stories, including his anthologies of verse, such as Classroom Creatures, It Takes One to Know One, The Day Our Teacher Went Batty, and Family Phantoms. Now let's begin the poem. But before we start the poem, let's find out what a discussion is. To discuss means to talk together or decide something. And when you do this, you take part in a discussion. A discussion is a common exercise practiced in all walks of life. At your home, matters relating to your house are discussed and decided by your parents. At the same time, you and your siblings decide upon the cartoon or movie that you need to watch. Similarly, in a school environment, discussions are conducted on socially relevant topics that are of pressing nature. Discussions in a classroom are very important because each and every person gets a chance to air his or her opinion. The pros and cons of an issue get highlighted. Also, it's a brainstorming session where many ideas are brought out, and everyone helps to decide which idea or ideas are the best. Thereby, it fosters teamwork. In a classroom, there will be a teacher to monitor the students. It is her duty to ensure that all the students participate in the discussion and contribute their valuable ideas. The teacher also monitors that the discussion goes on in a healthy manner. So our today's lesson is about one such discussion which is happening in a classroom. First, let's read the poem. The title of the poem is Class Discussion. Here I begin. In the class discussion, Jane, you hardly said a word. We all aired our opinions, but from you we barely heard. You sat and stared in silence, surrounded by the chatter. Now tell me, Jane, and please be plain. Is there anything the matter? Jane looked up and then she spoke. Her voice was clear and low. There are many people in this world who are rather quiet, you know. As you can see, this is a short and simple poem, but it conveys a valuable lesson. This poem is written in the form of a conversation between the teacher and her student named Jane. Now, as you can see from the picture, there is a discussion on some relevant topic going on within the class, and the teacher is monitoring the students. But she notices that there is one student who does not air her opinion. She simply sits there in silence and keeps staring at everyone. So this bothers the teacher. She wants to know why Jane was silent in the class when all other students in the class were actively participating in the discussion. So she tries to find out the reason for Jane's silence. And here is what Jane replies. She says that there are many people in the world who are rather quiet, you know. These two lines may appear very simple, but they carry a wealth of meaning. Here, Jane says that the world is filled with different types of people, and not everyone is the same. Some people are outspoken and prefer to be in the company of others, but there are also others who would prefer to be rather quiet. Through this poem, the poet Gervase Finn tries to convey a very important message. He tries to make us aware that there are different types of people in the world. While some people are talkative, friendly, and outgoing by nature, there are others who prefer to be reserved, withdrawn, and introspective. Now, this does not mean that they are any less than the extroverts. They are equally intelligent and clever like any other outspoken person. So it is time for us to acknowledge such people who prefer to remain silent rather than avoiding them. Now, here is the summary of the poem, Class Discussion. This short yet meaningful poem is written by Jervis Finn. The setting of the poem is a classroom where a discussion is going on between the teacher and the students. All the students seem to actively participate in the discussion and share their views, except for a little girl named Jane. Jane sat quietly and stared at others without involving in the classroom activity. This attracts the teacher's attention to her. Out of concern for Jane, she asks if there was something bothering her. To this, Jane gives a well-composed response. She calmly tells the teacher that the world is full of different types of people. Not everyone is the same. While some of them are outspoken and outgoing by nature, there are others who by nature are silent. They remain contented or happy with the way they are. That is, quiet and calm and never seek for any special attention or social engagements. The poet, through Jane, speaks for all the introverts in the world. Thus, Jane acts as an advocate for all those introverts who prefer to remain quiet, not because they are scared of others or lack the confidence to put forth their thoughts and ideas before others. She simply means to say that everyone deserves to be given their space and respect. People must stop judging people who are different. Instead, develop acceptance and tolerance for them. So this poem is a beautiful reminder that every person is different and yet special at the same time. Children, I hope you enjoyed this beautiful poem. Let's now discuss the new words and their meanings. The first word given here is discussion, and it means talking together in a group on a single topic. The next word is aired, and it means to make public. The third new word is barely, and it means only just. The fourth new word is stare, and it means to look fixedly with eyes wide open. And the last new word is plain, and here it means clear. Moving forward, we have the question and answers. The first question given here is, what activity was going on in the class? And you all know the answer. A discussion on some topic was going on in the class. The second question is, who was the quiet one in the class? And the answer for this question is, Jane was the quiet one in the class. Now, the third question is, why was she quiet? Out of these four options that are given here, you must select your answer. Here, the first option is, she was afraid to air her opinions. The second option is, she hated the noise. The third option is, she didn't like the activity. And the fourth option is, she was quiet by nature. And the answer here is the fourth option, which is, she was quiet by nature. Now we have a general question here. How do you interact in class during discussions? Do you participate or remain quiet? This is an entirely personal question, children. If you're very active during class discussions, you can write that I actively participate in class discussions. Or if you are the silent type, you can write I remain quiet and listen to others during class discussions. So kids, here we have come to the end of this session. Thank you for your time and have a great day.